welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about the ways to make money online, specifically by utilizing YouTube automations and selling digital products. So I'll discuss some of the details of both. So we already know that before you even make your YouTube channel, you want to definitely go ahead and choose a theme or a specialty for your channel. That way you have a topic in mind, so the content that you're going to produce will be aligned to what you're going to give your audience. Now, if you've never heard of YouTube automations, I do want to mention that one of the unique factors within this is that it allows you to create videos that can be generated using software programs, animations, or even screen recordings. And these tools are utilized to automate the ease of use in reference to recording videos and the editing process, and then of course uploading the content. So let me give y'all an example of a way you can create a channel and eventually generate income from YouTube's partner program. Y'all know since we're in the month of September, football has started back up. So I'm sure we've all seen the videos that pop up on the suggested side of YouTube that shows like the highlights of a game, especially with teams like Colorado since Deion Sanders is coaching. But yeah, if you see those videos and if the channel doesn't belong to a major company like ESPN or CBS, then it's very, very likely that a person or group of people are running that channel. And I know we don't often think about it in that way, but y'all, it's real people behind those channels getting real checks each month, because those type of popular channels generate hundreds of thousands of views. Now, the thing about it is those channels utilize YouTube automations, which a lot of people aren't aware of. And what makes it so special is that the person or group of people running those channels don't even have to create the content for real, and they don't have to appear in the videos or even use their voice to do it. So if someone wanted to start a channel covering the topic of the NFL or NCAA football, it'd be very easy to make that channel lucrative. So I say all that to say, with YouTube automations, content creators can maintain a consistent upload schedule and grow without having to do so much work to manage a channel. Because we know, for this example at least, a football game will be on every single week. So if the choice was made to make a channel showing or recording the highlights, that's a consistent following they're building. And in turn, it results in a system of having the channel automated, because you don't have to do the work of holding up the camera live or being there to make sure the audio is perfect. You just take the clips of the video and make it your own. And speaking of that, I want to discuss the topic of fair use, because it's something to never ignore, especially when discussing YouTube automations. Alright, so it's necessary to define what fair use is and how it's permissible. So essentially, fair use allows for a limited use of copyrighted material under special conditions. The first element to this is content repurposing. And this is when it's acceptable to use clips from TV shows or movies to create new content like commentary or reviews, but there are restrictions to this. Also, there must be an element of transformative use, meaning that in order for the content to qualify as fair use, it must offer new meaning or perspective instead of just copying the original work. And in addition, fair use also takes into account the market impact. So the consideration on if the new content will negatively impact the original work, or if it competes or replaces the original work, then it may not qualify and be considered fair use. So this is a type of content that's very important because it's sensitive and it can draw a thin line on what's acceptable and what's not. So basically what I'm saying is that you never want to just download a clip and then upload it as if it's yours if you haven't added any type of original content changes, or if you haven't modified or altered the content in some way. And speaking of that, now that I'm thinking about it, another tip to remember is to avoid taking TikTok content and repurposing it as your own and putting it up on YouTube. That's the easiest way to have the content flagged and removed, so just avoid that altogether. But yeah, let's discuss how optimizing YouTube plays a huge part in your success. So in regard to optimizing YouTube, especially for YouTube automations, the main things to consider are your titles, descriptions, and tags, because these elements allow for SEO discoverability. And we all know how important thumbnails are. People won't click on a video if they don't find the thumbnail appealing. So these are just a couple of things to consider. But going back to the example about creating a channel showing football highlights, if someone were to optimize the channel really well, the chances of the channel growing popularity quickly are much more likely than not. So I think y'all get where I'm going with this. For the most part, y'all, making money online isn't as hard as we make it out to be. And making money on YouTube is an option that some may be overlooking. So I'm not saying that you have to start a channel, but if you did and you chose the right niche, I'm sure you'll be on your way to being monetized quickly. But getting back to it, for anyone who does decide, like, hey, I think I'll consider it simply because I don't have to show my face, I don't have to use my voice, just make sure you don't ignore the community guidelines. And also know that automation doesn't protect against copyright claims because compliance will ultimately always fall back on the content creator. So always just keep that in mind. All right, so real quick, y'all, I did want to mention this resource because I know some people are like, well, what do you mean I don't have to show my face or even use my voice essentially? How can that be accomplished? All you would have to do is go into Upwork or Fiverr and you can literally hire someone to be like a voiceover actor, or you can have someone be a script writer. You can also find a video editor if you need to for your videos. There's so many different people who will be freelancing for these positions or these jobs in order to kind of like help you with your social media. So all I did is I went to upwork.com. I clicked on the category for social media management. And you guys can see here, they talk about the profile setup, integration, analytics, audience research. The list goes on, social content management, all these different elements can be used. So if you ever get to the point to where you're like, you know what, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, you can pretty much hire someone to show you through the process. And yeah, that's just a good tip. I just wanted to provide this resource just for anyone who's unsure and you're just starting out. At least you have this as a reference. Okay, so moving on to one of my favorite ways to make money online, which is selling digital products. Y'all, I cannot speak enough about it. Selling digital products is literally the definition of earning passive income. It really doesn't require a whole lot of effort, and there's so many different types of content that you can sell. And I'm truly a big believer in the fact that I think everybody has a talent or a skill, so it's so important to share that with the world. And if you feel it's necessary, then get paid to share that knowledge. So in reference to selling digital products, I discussed the process in my last video, but I forgot to mention that when you're creating your landing page, aka your website, you want to make sure that you clearly communicate not only the value of the product, but insert an intriguing call to action so that people feel compelled to trust your brand. And again, SEO is essential for meta descriptions as it pertains to relevant search terms. And another thing is backlinks. Make sure that you engage in link building strategies to heighten your rank, and it also makes your content easily searchable. So making money online through selling digital products can come through the form of just about anything. And just like YouTube automations, you don't have to use your own content. You can resell other people's products, but you must make sure that the products offer PLR, which is private label rights, and MRR, which is master resale rights if you're seeking to resell the content. Okay, so some of the pros of selling digital products are that it allows you to have that personal communication. So essentially, you can target your messages based on the user interests and the behaviors. So this personalization is good for engagement and conversion rates. And essentially what that means is that you want to have people visiting your website and then they're adding to cart and they follow through and actually make the purchase. That's essentially what conversion rates are. It also allows you to scale easily because you can resell and distribute the digital products and there's really no time frame or limit on it. And this also helps to not increase any costs because again, once the product is done, it's essentially serving as passive income and you're allowed to reach a global audience with that because there's no telling how far it can take you. Now, additionally, you can also minimize costs because there's no physical inventory with digital products. You don't have to pay for manufacturing costs. You don't have to even worry about keeping the overhead high because you can keep it low. Essentially, you're also able to generate that revenue. So you can implement subscription models. Even if you wanted to upsell, it's not recommended to do upsells, but if you wanted to, you can. And then, of course, you can automate your marketing. That's the easiest part about digital marketing is that when you have products that are of high value, no matter if it's high, low, or mid ticket, you can drive those sales because essentially you're not putting in much effort. The product will sell itself. And then lastly, again, you want to make sure that it's evergreen content, meaning that no matter what time of the year it is, no matter what year it is, people are going to be relevantly searching for that particular topic or for that product because it's timeless. So you always want to make sure it's sustainable. That way your sales will continue to grow. So all in all, y'all, YouTube automations and selling digital products offer a streamlined way to generate passive income with minimal effort. With YouTube automations, content creators can set up systems that manage their entire channels. And of course, they can have that monetization factor kick in a lot faster. Once these systems are in place, the content can be consistently produced and shared without continuous manual input. So that's the best benefit for automating those tools and those routines for your scheduling, and then of course optimizing the videos. Similarly, with digital products such as like ebooks, courses, there's even people who record themselves doing webinars and they sell those, or even if you have like a master class. This requires a one-time creation effort. So after that initial development, these products can be sold repeatedly with minimal additional work. So whatever e-commerce platform you use, no matter what the website is, of course we know they're going to handle the transactions and delivery. Since it is a digital product, it'll be sent instantly, and that reduces the need for ongoing effort. Now, both of these methods enable anybody, essentially a business or if it's just one individual person, to easily make money with little daily involvement because the initial setup is already completed. So all in all, my main point in this video is that the combination of YouTube automations and selling digital products is likely to be beneficial while minimizing the time and energy required for ongoing upkeep of a business. So if you're an entrepreneur and you haven't considered these ways to generate income, just keep them in mind. And with that, that'll pretty much do it for this video. If you found this information to be helpful, feel free to leave a comment down below. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.